Yeah. Man, we on here. We on here. Just wanted to welcome everybody. Man, this is going to be a great broadcast today. I got a fantastic brother that I get to sit down with. Brother Dwayne, how you doing, bro? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
Yeah. This is going to be good. This is going to be
Yeah, I
good.
can hear you,
So,
man. Shalom, man. Shalom.
shalom. Two brothers being able to build like this, man. We're going to have a great conversation today. Just want to say shalom to everybody that's in the audience right now. Make sure everybody's good. Make sure y'all like the stream as you're coming on your way in. Make sure that you hear that share button. That will help us out a lot if you are able to do that. And yeah, so we're gonna have a great conversation today. This is One Love, 1 Million Strong. I'm your Witzazar for those of you who don't know me yet. And we have Brother Dwayne here as well from the Assembly of the Firstborn. Our brother is based out of Florida and making some fantastic strides for unification of the brothers there in Florida. And Brother Dwayne, shalom, brother. What's going on?
Shalom, man. What's good with you, my G?
No, we good. We good. We just
Shoot,
go
man.
ahead and
Just
get this.
sitting in here cooling, man. Try to let people know.
No, you got it.
Shalom, brother Marcus, man. Brother Marvin, man. Striving for righteousness.
Yep. You got it though. So I think the thing that the people going to want to know is what brings us all here today. What brings us here today for this particular conversation. And I want to go ahead and kind of let you lead the way with this discussion a bit because I know you have some big things coming up in April, as do we. And you reached out to me a few weeks ago, and you were letting me know that you've been seeing a lot of the things that we were talking about with the One Love, 1 Million Strong, and you were showing some support and saying that there's some things that you're going to be doing there in Florida. So I don't want to speak for you on your behalf, but I just want you to go ahead and introduce yourself to the people that don't know you, and talk about what bring us here today.
Well, my name's Dwayne, man. We in Jacksonville, Florida. The name of our congregation, Assembly of the Firstborn. We believe in, we rock with the testimony of Yahushua, man, and Kadash living, and really just, you know what I'm saying, linking up with people who want to do what's right. You know what I mean? I ain't just talking about because we the same kinfolk, skinfolk, things of that nature, but actually, like we all on the same type of time and linking up with people to see how you can add value to the people who you come across like men are supposed to. So who are willing, we would like to be able to have an event in Jacksonville during when we have our observance of unleavened bread, and preferably, if the Lord permit, on April 5th, 6th, and 7th. You know what I'm saying? Along with having a concert with the brothers in our crew and any other brews who want to be a part of it for as music is concerned, but also for a fundraiser for Love No Treasury that my man's here been working on for a while. Some of y'all on your channel already know this, but the brother got a nice sized parcel of land. He has a desire to be able to develop that land so that, the Yahoo demon heart can actually dwell there and live peaceably and comfortably if that's what they choose to do and execute certain things without being dependent on these sinners, if you would. You know what I mean? So I've known bruh for a good little minute. And for me, I know that what he's doing, he's not gaining a benefit or profiting from the endeavor. His desire is strictly and specifically to be able to add value to those who believe and look like him. So you have individuals that are actually dedicating their life to add value to the people around them, and you say that you are a man, and that's what you lend assistance in the areas where you strong at to assist him in the areas that he owns. And also he has an audience of people that he deal with that know what's going on. So of course, if I rock with him, which I do, then I want to expose what he got going on to another group of people. If you participate, you participate. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? But the aspect is for you to know, seeking to be that, how that we can be able to add value and benefit to one another. And also knowing that just because you don't know specifically with people, that if you say that you in a Mashiach, then you should be able to see that in the people who profess that also until they show you differently. You know what I'm saying? And that just want to know.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I know that
What he's
for the people that are tuning in right
doing,
now,
what he's trying to
okay.
accomplish,
Yeah, it seemed like it's
and
breaking
how
up at certain
we
parts,
can all
brother Dwayne. So I'm just trying to make sure that the people are able to hear everything that you're saying. So just put a one in the chat if y'all can hear everything brother Dwayne is saying at this moment. But you got it, brother.
that so you can
Yeah, I
understand
think he
what that is and what it's about. So with that being said, bro, tell us a little bit about that. What inspired what moved you to do this? Oh man,
yeah. So just for starters,
good grief.
for those that don't know, um, the inspiration behind all of this really started for me.
Amazing.
Um, this started for me
Okay,
back
there it is. Yeah, that's
when I
amazing.
was
So
doing
yeah, that's Comcast
go.
for you, man. That
Yeah,
initiative.
yeah. I see. You still trying to connect. It's like going in and out for me, but you're good. But what I was saying was is that how this started for me. A couple years back, I was on Tabernacle with my family. I was on Tabernacle with my family. We go to a state park every year, and for each
Yeah.
lot we probably spend about $15 or $30 a day for that lot to be able to do Tabernacle. And this is in Pennsylvania when I was still living in Pennsylvania. Shout out to my family, Hebrew Care. Many of you have patronized Hebrew Care over the
Can you hear
years,
me?
but yep, I can hear you. Yep. Uh, and pretty much while we were doing Tabernacle out there, every single year when we would do Tabernacle, you know, it more than likely would end with some rain. And I think brother Dwayne dropped off for the moment, but as soon as he come back, I'm gonna make sure to bring him back on. But pretty much when we would go out and do Tabernacle, it will probably rain almost every year towards the end of the event, and of the 7 days that we would stay out there. It would rain. And I would see that my family, they were trying to make sure to gather themselves together to say, to do this one thing that they would say, let's go, we're going to have to go back home so that we can get out of all of this storm and things like that. And I mean, when I would say it would rain, it would be like a deluge. Like, I mean, like the one year, the last year that I went out there with them, my tent actually flooded. That's how much water was coming down. And we would see that on a yearly basis. But one of the things that kind of got to me was the idea that we got to go back home. And one of the things that that just struck me, it was almost like, like a powerful voice, like, this is not your home. This is not our home. And when I recognized that what it was the tabernacle represented, for us was a time in which when our ancestors was coming out of Egypt and spending time in the wilderness in tents, it was representing them kind of being cleansed so that they can be prepared to go into the promised land, into the Holy Land. And so that tabernacle was a reminder of of that, you know. And so, you know, when it struck me, like, ain't no way we going back home. Like, this is not our home. You know, yeah, we have a house here in which we live in, but this is really not our home. And you know, I went into thinking about a number of different things, and for people that, you know, that have had different experiences, there are some of us that, you know, share in the ability to have different visions and things like that. And you know, that definitely started happening to me. And um, you know, I'm not ashamed to share that. It is what it is. I had some visions, and I felt like I was being led to share with my family and people around me that it was time to get some land, that it was time to get some RVs, that it's time for us to get away from this here structure of society where everything that we do is dependent on the powers that be. You know, when we need to get our water, we got to go depend on them. When we need to get our food, we got to go to the supermarket and depend on them. When it's time for us to get our clothes or and our raiment, we got to go to them for every last thing. And I understood that that was all a part of the curses. I understood that, but there was something that jumped out to me, which was the fact that even in our captivity, we are able we are able to buy land if we want to. In our captivity, we are able to dig wells if we want to. In our captivity, we are able to grow food if we want to. Even in our captivity, we are able to do all of these things to allow ourselves to be self-sufficient. But to some degree, it just seems like we, as a people, as a nation, we have not taken the uh taking the just really just taking the initiative to do it. And so um you know, when I went to my family and I'm just like, hey, it's time for us to start finding some land, get some RVs. Let's go do some things, do some things that are more self-sufficient. I knew that my family could do it because we're a family of beekeepers. For those of you who don't, you know, who don't know, if you go to hebrewcare.com, you will see, we are actual beekeepers, so we know a thing or two about self-sufficiency. We raise our own honeybees. We keep a garden. You know what I'm saying? I've grown zucchinis like the size of, like, I mean, 2 or 3 feet, you know, zucchinis and squash and things like that. So I knew my family would understand, like, hey, it's time for us to just take our resources and go be independent and not be so dependent on the system. And so I when I came into my family and said this, they looked at me like I was crazy. They was like, where you think we going to get that kind of money to just go buy some land? Like, what are you talking about? I'm like, listen, I feel like the Almighty Yah has put it on my spirit to share this with y'all, and I'm just letting y'all know we're gonna get land. We're gonna get some land. We're gonna get RVs. We're gonna start, uh, you know, being agriculturalists like our ancestors. We're gonna dig some wells. We're gonna do all that. I went to my friends, told them the same thing. They was pretty much looking at me like the same way, like, how are we supposed to do that? And I just, for me, I just kept my faith. And in that very week, if not the next week, talking with my cousin, shout out to my cousin Elijah, that just came back from Asia, you know, and was rocking with me with whatever I do. You know, my cousin always there for me, rocking with me. I told him, look, he was just like, well, where do you think we find land on? I said, well, let's look at some Facebook marketplaces, Facebook groups. You know what I'm saying? Let's look online. Let's see what's out there. And in that very week, you know, as he was searching, you know, he was staying at our house, and he's like, yo, cuz, I just found a guy in North Carolina that just bought over 100 acres of land. You think I should call him? You think I should hit him up? I'm like, yo, call that brother right now. So he literally just called him right there on Facebook. He called that brother on Facebook, Okay, cool. Brother Dwayne making sure he. Oh yeah, that thing right there got the internet popping right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I got on my phone, bro. This doggone laptop, man, trying to piss me off. So I
yeah,
just jumped on
man.
my phone, bro.
And I don't know if you was able to hear everything that I was saying, but
No, I
I'm
could because
just
I was checking. It was playing clear on the channel, but I couldn't
okay.
really hear it clear.
Yeah, so I was just explaining to the people what was the inspiration behind
That's good. Long
the
as they heard it, that's good. Because I
yeah.
already know. So
Yeah, so when I told my cousin, like, yeah, go ahead and call him now. My cousin called him right there on Facebook Messenger. Like, this is like the first time we ever spoke to this man. And pretty much like I'm the type of person like if a stranger calls me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram, like I'm not answering that call. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like
right.
you a weirdo. Like, what are you doing calling strangers? But the spirit was just on us, man. And we called him, and man answered the phone, and my cousin was like, hey, brother, we just seen that you got over 100 acres of land, and we just wanted to kind of connect with you because we got the nation, we got honeybees, we got some people that want to support the overall movement of self-sufficiency and all of this. Like, he just was going in. So the man was like, okay, that sounds good. I mean, because that's exactly what I'm on. He said, I
Right.
bought the land. I bought the land because of that. I bought the land for the people. God told me to buy the land, but this is what you do. This is what you do. Why don't you come down here and put your feet on the land and see if it's for you? Because it may not be for you. So we was just
Right.
like for real. He was like, we could just come down there. So he's like, listen, I'm gonna send y'all the coordinates. So this place is completely off grid. It at the time it did not have an address. It just had coordinates, right? So I tell my family, I'm like, Mom, Dad, listen, man got some land in North Carolina. He willing to share that land with us. Like, we could go down there, do some more beehives. We could do a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? We could start growing food, build some tiny homes. Like, what do y'all want to do? Y'all want to go check it out? So they was just like, man, you sure? They was like, put that man on the phone. Like, so we called him back, and he talked with my parents, and they was just like, that sound real. Like, this sound for real. I'm like, yo, I think this for real. This is exactly what the Almighty God was guiding us to. So we took a flight down there. You know what I'm saying? Me and my whole family took a flight down there, met up with my friends that lived in the Carolinas, and we all went over there. Yo, the land absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, as I added on the screen, this is where the land is located at Fairmount, North Carolina. Absolutely beautiful land. And at the time when I came to the land, it looked just like this. You know what I'm saying? This is December time right here. And that's the time that we went to the land when we first stepped foot on the land. And it was beautiful. Like the soil, everything. Like, you could smell the richness of the soil, everything, man. I mean, he had about 20 or more acres already cleared out. So actually what you looking at here is the cleared out acres, and all of those trees behind is all of the rest of the acres, like about 70, 75 or more acres straight back. So he was just like, well, listen, what y'all thinking about doing? I was just like, listen, we got a whole nation of people, Israelites, we Israelites, brother. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know I'm an Israelite too. I was like, oh, praise y'all. I was just like, listen, we got brothers and sisters, they like doing tabernacles, you know what I'm saying, which is camping and things like that. We got brothers and sisters out here that want to be self-sufficient. Um, we want to be able to go and do a land trust or something like that with you for the people, brother. He said, you know what? He said, when I first got this land, I stood out here, and he said, I looked up, and as clear as I'm seeing you right now, I saw I saw the land was filled with tents full of our people. And I was just like, we all got chills at that moment. It was just like, for real, like
Right.
that's what he was like, yo, that was the vision I had. He said, I seen tents full of our people on this land. He said, he said, God told me to get this land, is what he said. He said, I sold whatever I had. My friends thought I was crazy. And he said, let me show y'all something. And he took us over to like these shipping containers that you see over in the corner over there. all of that was filled with camping gear. It was filled with RV, ATVs and bikes, bicycles. You know what I'm saying? Everything that you could think about for survival. And then he had another joint with guns and everything. Like, so he's one of those survivalists. Shout out to Mike. And yeah, man, he was just like, listen, whatever y'all trying to do, let's go ahead and make it happen. And ever since then, the inspiration really has been the inspiration has really been the blessing that the Almighty Yah has given us, the opportunity for us to be able to do what it is that we want to do as far as wanting to be independent.
Right.
He's given us that opportunity. So that's really where the inspiration began. And as soon as he put us on this path, a whole nother world opened up for us, where we even went out to Africa, have access to, believe it or not, we got access to over 125,000 acres of land in Liberia, Africa. And it just become more and more clear to me that if we really want to be self-sufficient as a people, we truly can. Because one thing the man said, that's the owner of the land, he said Black Wall Street was built on 60 acres of land. I got over 110 acres here. What can we do with that? Blew my mind, because I'm just like, what can we do with it for real? I mean, we haven't been on that kind of conversation for a long time. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to just building our home. So
let me ask you this.
That's really where the inspiration came from.
Let me ask you this. Explain to the people why you believe independence is important from your perspective.
Yeah. So as a man, number one, as a man, I don't believe in having to depend on another man for the basic necessities of my life. I was raised that way, as we all were raised to, go and flip on a light, or go and turn on the water faucet, go and buy or rent a house, go to the supermarket, do all of these things that as men, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man that grew up working with my dad. My dad is a contractor. So we can go and gut whole entire houses and build them up from scratch. And so, once as I became older, my dad kind of led me to focus on marketing and things like that. That put me behind a computer, so I couldn't work as much with my hands anymore. And it was really frustrating. It was really frustrating to know that our lives are completely dependent on another man, this society. And I just don't want to live a life like that. I'm from Pennsylvania, so for those of you who know anything about Pennsylvania, we got people that are called Amish out there, right? And this here is a community that's completely self-sufficient. I would say about 95% self-sufficient. They don't depend on anybody for their food, for their water, for building their houses, for their travel. You know what I'm saying? They don't depend on nobody for nothing. As a matter of fact, much of Pennsylvania depend on them for food. You know what I'm saying? For furniture and things like that, for helping build houses, because they got the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And so, the more I thought about it, the more it made me realize this is who we always were as a people when we were dragged over here and put into bondage. We built this whole country. They call this the greatest country in all the world, and we built it. So I'm just like, why can't we just build something for ourselves? And that's really the reason why it's important to me, outside of the fact that I know that is what our Father has instilled in us, to be husbandmen to the land. You know what I'm saying? That I know our Father has instilled that into us. As men, we are supposed to not only be a husband to our wives, but we should also be husbands to the land. You know what I'm saying? So that can bear fruit as well. You know, your wife is going to bear fruit when you lay a seed with your wife. You should be able to lay seed in the land, and that's going to bear fruit as well. It's going to be abundant, and that's just about trusting the Almighty Yah. The Almighty Yah said to us in Malachi, "What have I done to you? Testify against me this day."
Yes, sir.
He said, testify against me this day before the land. And go. So pretty much our Father was letting us know, like, you can never say that I never took care of you when I brought you to the land. I've always took care of you. So I just know that if we want to be self-sufficient as a people, is nothing. The Almighty Yah going to provide for us. We just become so dependent on everything else. So I just feel like if you really trying to be a man in this life, is really boils down to, what are you going to provide for you and your family at the end of the day?
Well, I shared the flyer for the because you just did a fundraiser on January the 12th. And I know
That's
you're
right.
planning on doing one on February the 18th. And we're going to get into that in a moment. But just let the people know how this event or the fundraiser, just the whole objective period, is going to seek to address, the housing crisis amongst our people, and also, the food insecurity that seems to permeate through the multitudes of our communities across the country where our people are located at.
Absolutely. So much of this work that we started out early on, I gave y'all more of the genesis and the inspiration behind all of this. But this had started to culminate into us actually doing real work, real efforts. The land that I'm sharing with you all. This area is called Unlimited Potential Farms, or UP Farms. As you can see, this here land, it could be whatever we want it to be, but this was a farm once upon a time, and so this here land can feed as many people as we designed it out to be. And I honestly, with this a level of land, with things like hydroponics, things like that, there's so many things that we can grow and build upon. So this could actually help feed a lot of our people. In addition to that, I just want to say, in a lot of the communities where we come from, we all living on top of each other. So if we got brothers out there that know how to build, what I'm saying? They know how to build homes. You feel what I'm saying? Like I have some knowledge on being able to contribute. Just think about what we could build out there for our people, just to make ourselves some level of self-sufficient, right? And so the land is going to be able to provide not only the nourishment that we need, but also address the housing insecurities that we have as well. I mean, this right here image that's on the screen is of something called a yurt, and we can have yurts throughout the land, and those yurts cost as low as $5,000 to $10,000 for a yurt, and you could completely live in that
Oh,
comfortably.
explain to the people what that is, because I don't think many people are familiar of what a yurt is and what that encompasses. So, kind of explain that. Give them a short synopsis of what that is and what it entails.
Yes. So a yurt is a livable structure that originated throughout all of the world. All of the world used some level of what in America we would know as a teepee, right? But or a tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? Like our ancestors did tabernacles and they kept tents, right? They dwelled in tents. So many people that I understand what yurts are, they yurts come from Mongolia. It's a place, Mongolia and Asia. These people are nomadic people. They live in these yurts, and I'm talking about 0-degree temperatures, below 0-degree temperatures, wind storms, and all kinds of stuff. And they live in those comfortably. And so I'm gonna share my screen real quick,
Yes, sir.
um, so y'all can see, what these things could potentially look like. Hold on, let me stop. I didn't present the right thing. I want to just present this. because I think that picture is better than 1,000 words. So, man, why I keep going to that? All right, boom, here you go. So in the background of this here picture, these are what yurts look like, right? These could be utilized for many different things, for businesses, for living, you know what I'm saying? But they're very cheap and they're easy to put together. You could put one of these together in less than a day, you know what I'm saying? Depending on
Right.
the size. And so this right here is what yurts are. But of course, we open to people coming and staying on the land and RVs. We're open to people to come in and stand in the land. And if you decide that you want to build a tiny home, something like that, all of that is available. So, but that's pretty much what yurts are. You can look up Mongolian yurts. Those people live in those for their whole entire life. And so, I'm just what pretty much what we were trying to do was try to figure out, just cost effective options. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, people can come and just go ahead and build a whole house, but you know what I'm saying? Like then you gotta go ahead and get a mortgage or something like that. And now you owe the bank $200,000 or more that you living for the bank now. You working for the bank. You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
We trying to get people away from that. If you can just go ahead and build yourself a livable structure, whatever money that you had to gather up, and then you ain't got to pay nothing else for the next 5-10 years. I mean, like people right now spending $2,000 and up for on rent. You know what I'm
That's
saying? Like this,
that's a
this
fact.
can't this not real life, man. This stuff is like we living on some type of game, like some game that somebody else made, and all of us are just working as hard as we can to get ahead in their game when we could just go ahead and just do our own thing.
Well, let me add
It
this to,
Yeah,
to, to what you're saying, just for some clarity for the audience, because this is something that I told our assembly probably about when the pandemic started, because I seen, I deal with a lot of real estate investors, man, as forth as what I do for a living. So we have a brother in the UK who can attest to this. When you go to the UK, it is a renter's nation. Now, see, most people here in America don't realize this. You're probably realizing it now with a lot of these hedge funds. Because, like I said, a lot of people who I do business with were selling homes to these hedge funds. So you have large companies like Tricon in Canada, America Homes for Rent, First Key Homes. These companies were buying up a multitude of single family homes all throughout the United States, most of them overpaying for them at that. So
right,
to take them and to make them rentals. So of course this has driven up the median home price for a single family home, which makes it difficult for the average American to actually purchase a home, because the intent is to turn everyone into a renter. So what he's establishing here is that regardless if you wanted to be a part of this initiative or if it was something that you desire to do on a smaller scale or whatever the case may be, it's to try to release you from the shackle of what it is that they're trying to do, which is to remove any type of ownership or control from the average person. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're out to do. Now, I did see recently that they're trying to pass some legislation that would heavily tax these hedge funds if they held these properties for an extended period of time, because the more that these companies buy up these properties and own these properties, the less likely it will be for anyone to have the ability to purchase a home. I think right now the median home price in Jacksonville, Florida, is around about 400,000. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that, where the interest rates are now, most of us will never actually acquire enough resources to actually purchase a home. Well, you could at least say, if I'm spending money on it, at least it's going to some equity. And if I wanted to sell it, I could just cash out, pay the capital gains tax on the profit, and go about my business.
right.
So what he's mentioning this for, and like I said, and don't think that any of you think that, oh, you have to do this or you not serving Yahuwah if you're not
That's
doing
right.
this. You know what I'm saying? He's putting this out here as an alternative if you find the current state of this particular society to be distasteful to the way that you desire to live. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to live an extravagant life and to have this, that, and the third, then this probably not going to be for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be able to have a life the way you can actually, if you will allow for you to have the things that are required to get from day to day, and to be around people who seek to serve and praise and honor you, who are and ruach and in truth with you. You know what I'm saying? And then not to be tainted by the because we all know what time it is with the food these people got selling us, man. We don't got to go into these details. We all know that. So
Yeah.
if that's something that you want to do, then this would be for you. Or because we're gonna get into more into it. Or if this is something that, okay, this may not be for me, but I want to assist my people in this endeavor, you can do that also. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel inclined that, oh, I gotta give money, because I know most brews feel like everybody out for their money. But I will say this: there's absolutely no way possible that we're going to be able to accomplish anything without resources. So you can't try to seek for a couple of people and put that financial burden on all of them to be able to be a benefit to you without you actually putting your skin in the game. Because then you can't sit around and complain, ain't nobody doing nothing for the people, but you refuse to do anything for your own people while expecting somebody else to do it and shoulder that load. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure that you know you're dealing with honorable men, and that the cause is for the benefit of the people, and everything will be smooth.
Yeah, I mean, you really hit it. Such great points. When I want to follow up with saying that, absolutely, this is just an alternative. And I had a fantastic brother on here just a few days ago, where everywhere that he goes, he plants he plants gardens. He plants gardens for the whole community to be able to utilize. And he completely transforms stuff that used to be ugly lots, things that was in the hood where it was just an abandoned lot. And he'll turn it into a garden, and the people in the community could just come there and eat whatever they need. You know what I'm saying? And this is really just about changing the mentality. Christ said that you're not going to be able to enter into the kingdom unless you've been born again. So this here thing that we're talking about is us just reconnecting back with our inheritance. The land is our inheritance. That's what it is. And there's going to come a day where this here current system of things and everything that is running and operating off of another nation of people is going to come collapsing down. Okay. And what's going to happen is that however the Almighty Yah decides to allocate the time out, you know what I'm saying? It may be a time where you're going to have to survive based off of what you do. And if wherever you at, you should know how to do some level of gardening. You should know how to do tap a well. You should know how to just put some bricks on top of some bricks. You should know how to build livable structures. You know what I'm saying? So this here is just giving us the opportunity to just go ahead and put our hands to the plow now. And so back to the question that you were asking, I believe you were asking, how do we set out to do it? And I mentioned Unlimited Potential Farms giving us access to be able to get around the housing market, which is really a housing crisis at this moment in time. Is crazy. But also is going to allow us to address the food insecurities. But the food insecurities issue is bigger than just growing food. Is making sure that the food is available when the people need it. And so One Love 1 Million Strong, this here project is about making sure that we can pull together the people to all come together at the same time and make a contribution. I just want you to imagine that there's hundreds of YouTube channels out there right now, right, that have thousands and thousands of subscribers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I mean, one of our brothers, he got over 700,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, just one brother alone. So I just want y'all to imagine if we were to pull together 10 YouTubers, if we were to pull together 50 YouTubers, how much could we raise in one day to go towards these causes that we just talked about?
Right.
Just $1. I mean, I'm gonna say within our network alone, the brothers that I know amongst us, we got over 1 million subscribers. So if we could just stream all at the same time, we all stream together, like-minded cause, we could raise $1 million in a day. I've seen it happen from other nations and groups of people. And then we could take those resources and put it right into making sure that we could feed the people, have the opportunity to be able to build on the land in North Carolina and anywhere else that we set out to do. And I wanted to share something really quick.
Go ahead.
The way that we had addressed the food insecurities. Remember what I said, it's not about just growing the food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because anybody can grow food, but not everybody's going to be able to grow food. And it's about making sure that the food is available. And so the Love Notes Treasury, we put together a number of different technologies that will allow people to be able to gain access to food. We haven't been able to launch this particular thing yet, because of course there's some resources that we're going to have to put behind it. But this right here is called the Almighty's House of Restorative Services, and the way that we address the food insecurities is through our pantry. We're going to have a pantry here on this website, and pretty much what you would do is you would just come to this website and just order the food that you need, and the food will just show up to your door. We have already been doing this. I'm just let the people know. We just haven't launched this site yet. Okay. But we have already been doing this, and it's been very successful with the people that we've been able to help. And it's a real blessing because there's so many things out there right now that there's no reason that if somebody say, yo, I'm hungry, my family, we don't really got the money right now. There's no reason that you can't make sure $100 worth of food pulled up to their house within 30 minutes to an hour. This website just allows us to be able to do that even more effectively and efficiently. We are all about being charitable and helping the people. That's what this whole thing is about, right? And so when we did this right here, we just knew that we can expand it so much more, especially through the agricultural efforts that we are doing. And them agricultural efforts, we're going to be able to have our sisters canning food, uh, drying out, food. And then when people need food, we don't have to always depend on the supermarkets. We can just have the food available, preserved, and then send it out to the people that need it. And so these are the things that we want to try to drive some resources to expand beyond just unlimited potential farms. But we also want to put some resources here. So what we are doing is pulling people together for our events. One Love, 1 million strong.
But since you mentioned that, tell them about the events that's going to lead up. I know I referenced the one on February 18th to the ultimate event on April 20th. I'll elucidate in a moment about prayerfully what we'll be able to do on April the 5th, 6th, and 7th. But tell them about the events leading up to April the 20th event.
Yeah.
Go into the event on the 20th and all the details as it pertains to that.
Okay. So I just hope that brothers and sisters was able to gain edification as to why we're doing what we're doing. I think, all of us have it in us to want to make a difference for our people. I know that many of our brothers and sisters understand the scriptures and, the importance of us being charitable. And I think is within us all to really indeed want to do all that we can do for us, by us. And so this here is something that myself and a number of, it's not just me, it's a lot of brothers and sisters that we got behind the scenes making all of this work. And and we're doing it under something called the Love Notes Treasury. Um, and you can find that on give to receive.love. And I'll explain the events that we decided to launch, um, and coinciding with the launch of the Love Notes Treasury. We've had the Love Notes Treasury, which is our own, literally our own currency. It does not use any other technology like the crypto wallets or all that kind of stuff. We don't deal with none of that. The Almighty Yah has given us our own technology to utilize as a currency within our communities. That's going to help us to support our merchants and support the people that are in need. And so I'll share my screen. This here is the website, and as you can see, we're promoting the event One Love, 1 Million Strong for the Gregorian year of 2024. Um, this here is the image of the love note, one of the images that we utilize. It is a digital currency, so we don't really utilize any physical forms of the currency. The way that the currency works is very simple. For those that really love the content that I make or Brother Dwayne make or any other YouTuber or any other content developer, usually you know that you can just send them a tip. Well, that tip is usually sent through either YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. Instead of doing that, you can actually send a tip to somebody that you support because they're doing something that you really care about. You can send it to them through their Love Note website. And when you make that contribution to them through their Love Note website, what happens is that a portion of those proceeds will then go towards the causes that we talked about. But also, too, you would actually get something in return for your contribution. And what you would get in return for your contribution is a love note, which comes that has its own code, and then you can use that code on all of our merchant websites. And so the merchant websites that we have right now, and this is one of the things that we're doing to try to support our merchants within our community. But these are some of the merchants that we have in our website. We got Sister Reclaim Your Image, Hebrew Care, New Breed Global Truth, Chariot Tea, things like this. And if you have a business and you want to be able to support this here and be a part of this here mission, well, it's real simple. You become a merchant, and pretty much everybody that got a love note, they want to come and use their love note with your business. And so when launching this here, it was clear that we needed to build up as many resources as we can. And the way that we're doing that is through our events. And so you can come to this website, give to receive.love. And when you click on this in a menu here, One Love, 1 Million Strong, you'll see all of the events that we have leading up to our main event, which is going to be on April 20th. And these here events that are leading up are all events that are going to be online, right, on YouTube. But the main event is going to be in person in Myrtle Beach. More than likely, we're trying to lock it in, and we may have to push back the date, honestly, if we don't get that location locked in. But it will be in Myrtle Beach, and it's going to be great. It's going to be live music, live entertainment. It's going to be streamed live to YouTube. Multiple content creators are going to be all streaming at the same time. And there's going to be, vendors out there, farm to table vendors, some people doing, different demonstrations when it comes down to growing or herbs, learning how to use herbs for healing. There's going to be, some demonstrations and things like that. Because the location is a drag strip in Myrtle Beach, which I think is amazing that we get the opportunity to utilize this. We may have some bikes out, so brothers and sisters that got bikes, they could pull up. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be a good time overall. The event that we're going to be having April 20th, and this is not something that you're going to want to miss. We want to make sure that get all of our brothers that and sisters that do music, to come out, you know what I'm saying, so that you could do the performances. We'll have a couple of keynote speakers. Some of the keynote speakers are people that are master gardeners. What I would say, people that will be fall in that realm of master healers. They understand how to use the herbs for healing. People that understand um, how to build and things like that. So there'll be just quite a few uh, keynote speakers, but it's going to be a great event overall. Um, you know, family oriented event, and is right there at the beach. So in April is going to be warm enough for you to go to the beach with your family as well. So we looking forward to having people come out to that event. But the events leading up to that, you don't want to miss either. We just had something called Holy Night Live, where we had a lot of fun on that particular stream, and we was able to raise through raffle tickets over $500 for the cause. It was our first event. This was just really our launch event. You know what I'm saying? Just launching it and just throwing it out there, letting people know that this is what we're doing. And we had quite a few people show up to support. So we were happy to raise what we were able to raise. But that just gives everybody a idea of some of the activities that we got going on. And you know, if you want to come and participate in any of these activities, you can go to givethereceive.love, and you can get a raffle ticket. The next event that we're doing is actually a Holy Night Live spelling bee. So we're going to see if the brothers and sisters out there know how to spell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's some words in the scriptures that you should know how to spell. Listen, my spelling is not the best at all. You know what I mean? So I will not be a part of that spelling bee, but we will be putting it to the test. If you good like that, you might want to come on a show. There are some great prizes involved with that show. And then we got another show coming up. It's called One Love, One Mic, 144 in Park, And this is just going to be pretty much a bit of a competition with the music. You know what I mean? So that people can, bring out the best of the music that they got and let the people be the judge. And whoever wins that, there's some prizes involved in that as well. So that's what we have for these here events.
For sure, for sure. So, like Keith is saying, like I said, you who are willing, uh, we're going to try to do the same April 5th, 6th, and 7th here in Jacksonville, a physical event during the time that we observe unleavened bread. And we want to be able to use that 3-day period, not only for the administration of the word, but also for the be able for the connecting of people from multiple different places, uh, to actually see. Well, a lot of problem with a lot of brothers in the way is people don't actually want to come in contact with people. You know what I'm saying? See, the only way that you're going to actually be able to do anything of note, if you're going to have to network outside of people that you're accustomed to talking to on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So number one, if we all claim that the faith of the living Elohim is what we own, then we should be able to come together for that purpose, and then to use that time period to raise funds for the particular matters that are being discussed right here, right now. So we also want to use that time period for fundraising during that. It's just going to come down to figure out how we're going to be able to do it. It's not going to be a charge for anybody to come. So you don't think that you got to pay some money to be able to participate, because that's not the objective. The objective is to be able to do is to raise money for the explicit reasons of what was stated, which is to help develop the land or put money towards to be able to deliver food to people who need it, or whatever the case may be, but also for the purpose of connecting with one another. See, a lot of us like to talk to each other on the internet, but a lot of us don't want to actually talk to people in real life because you out here pump faking and capping. You know what I'm saying? You want to pretend like you care about people, but you really don't. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got love for your people like you say you do, then you're going to show love to people whether you have a deep, intimate connection and relationship with them regardless. Because how would you be able to develop intimate relationships with people unless you actually interacted with people? You know what I'm saying? So the purpose also
Mhm.
of this event is to raise funds and for you niggas to go outside and talk to people
who are doing the same thing that you doing, who make because and I say this for a reason. You could be working on something and you could meet somebody and they could have the ability to help facilitate what you're doing because you're coming in to seeking how to add value to each other because you got love for each other. Do you know what I'm saying?
Communities for
Because
those who
you,
need
you
it the
you
most.
got to go
Spread the word.
outside and actually meet your stop thinking about, well, they not in my community, they're not in my congregation. That's goofy stuff. That's lame. You know what I'm saying? They shouldn't have to fellowship with you for you to have love for them. You shouldn't have to be like, how I want to put this here, man. You shouldn't have to be like, I love people because I have to, because that's what people say they do, or the words say that's what I'm supposed to do. Let that be in you and let that be reflected to people when you meet them. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of us got to, you feel like people after something from you, but let me tell you this here, man, before I relinquish uh speaking. Whoever you are and whatever you do for people, if that's who you are, then continue to do that. Because if someone seeks to take advantage of you, they're not playing you, they playing themselves. Because that means that they would no longer have access to what it is that you do. If that's who you are and that's what you do genuinely, no one could ever take advantage of you because that's just who you are. They gonna end up losing because they're not gonna have a genuine bona fide person in their life anymore. So if we all say that we got the word in us and we got the love of God and we love our people, then you should never be concerned with anybody playing you. They're gonna be playing themselves. But we'll never be able to develop any of the things that are being envisioned and spoken here right now if we don't actually have the 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 love of Elohim that we claim that we have to actually tap in with people and not be concerned with getting taken advantage of or they don't roll with me. Because at the end of the day, we dealing with the same things. We all is singing the same song just to a different instrumental. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So we all got to realize that what you going through, I'm going through the same thing. What you seeing, I'm seeing the same thing. So if I can be a benefit and help to you, then I'm gonna do it. I don't got to get nothing from you. I don't even got to know you. You know what I'm saying? But that's the mind that we got to have. If we say, because a lot of our people say, I love black people, I want to do stuff for black people, and you niggas full of human excrement when you talking.
Mm.
So we have to put all that stuff to the side and say, hey man, it doesn't matter if it's a dollar, it don't matter if it's your time, it don't even matter if it's a prayer. What can you do to show these people that the love of God is in us so that we can actually be one in this man like we claim that we are? And that's what you notice of what he's named this. One love. So if it's one body, one immersion, one faith, and one Elohim, then how are we not one in him, manifesting that love one to each other so all these sinners out here can know that we are his disciples? You know what I'm saying? Just
That's
y'all consider that,
it's
bro.
powerful, bro. It's powerful what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, this is what this is all about. If the men of Israel cannot come together to make it happen under the power and the leadership of our Father, then who will? Who gonna do it? You know, I just this right here, what you're saying is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. You know, we're not coming under a under the auspice of a particular church, a particular you know religious idea. We're coming at this at as the fact that we're brothers. We're brothers and sisters, and these are the things that need to be done regardless. You know, a lot of the things that you just talked about with the opportunities that we have to work together, we definitely need to allow ourselves to do that. So I just want to say I appreciate you, brother Dwayne. You know, always
Oh, for sure, for sure.
being that kind of brother, regardless. You know, when I meeting brother Dwayne would just pull up to the Bible studies that we would have over Zoom. Just pull up and show love. You know what I'm saying? This is the example that he's talking about. You being able to connect with brothers, regardless to whatever ideas that they may have. You know what I'm saying? As long as they are trying to operate in love under the rule of the Almighty Yah, then that's a brother to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, where can we build that? What can we do to figure out the middle ground and where we could build? And that's what one love, 1 million strong is all about. You know what I'm saying? And really, the 1 million ain't enough. The 1 million is not enough, but it's a start. It's a start. But I often, brother Dwayne, I often go back to what our father Abraham said. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if you find 100 men in that land, Yah, would you save them alive? If you find 50,
Right.
if you find 20, if you find five, I
For sure.
often think about also Noah. I mean, Noah spent time building the ark. Noah also spent time speaking to the people, right? He couldn't he didn't let the two mix. He spent time preaching to the people, trying to wake the people up, warning them and letting them know what was to come, and then he spent time doing what the Almighty Yah instructed him, which was build that ark. And subsequently, only just him and his family was able to get on that ark.
Right,
So
right.
these
Well,
are things that go ahead. You got it, brother.
no, I'm glad you said that, right? Cause I'm gonna mention something that me and you talked about the other day. Cause my man's here to tell you, he said he ain't trying to be nobody preacher. You know what I'm talking about? But I am. You know what I'm talking about? That is what I do. And by the grace of Yahuwah, I'm nice with it too. That ain't no boast or no brag. That's the esteem to Yahuwah. I'm saying that because I was talking to the little homie earlier. Because a lot of these dudes, they piss me off. They piss me off because they serving trash. They're destroying the people. And some of that stuff that people love it so. Now, why did I say that? Because my man's right here, as you can see, organizing and facilitating certain things. That's what he do. That's not what I do. I can do it, but that's not what I do. If you understand what I'm telling you, that's not what. But preaching is what I do. And at the same token, we can come together. We could do these things. But boy, best believe if you come in contact with me, boy, you're gonna get this work. And if you not gonna be the man of you that Yahuwah has prescribed through the sanctification of faith in His Son, you will be held accountable for it. Just don't think that you're gonna come together and come around here and be on some goofy stuff. Because I'm not talking about no doctrine. I'm not finna argue back and forth with you about no doctrine unless you just on some other stuff that I just can't like. Nah, bro. We can't roll with that. I'm talking about your conduct, your integrity, your honor, your behavior, your sanctification. If you on some weirdo stuff, I'm telling you gonna be held accountable. So if you don't want to come around this corner and actually be who it is that you say that you represent, see, most of y'all may not be familiar with the word. Like when you read about Jacob, it said Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. When you go
Mm,
look in the language, the word plain there is Tom, which is the shortened version of Tamaim, which is the word for perfect. Now, when you're dealing with the word for perfect in the Abarim language, that means specifically to be complete and whole, but also morally innocent, but more important, having integrity.
mhm,
So, what is having integrity? What you say you do and who you say you are, that's who you are. So, if you come around here with some goofy stuff, I don't know what they do where you at, and I don't know what they do where you fellowship at. But boy, I'm gonna hold you accountable. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you come around here, you're gonna be a man. I ain't saying that you can't slip. I'm not saying that somebody gonna run you down because you got out of pocket. Because trust me, I know you flesh and blood. You got lust and desires. You dust and ashes. I understand all that. But if you come around here disingenuous on some weirdo type of time, boy, I promise to you, boy, I'm coming for your scalp. Because you're not finna come around here and do no wickedness. That's what you're not finna do. That's what you're
mm,
not finna do. That's what you're not finna. Not while I'm breathing. Not what. Because like this here, my man, like you said, he'll tell you he don't want to be nobody preacher, but I am, boy, and I'm coming for your throat if you try to get involved with this here and you got some folly going on. I promise you, I'm not playing. I ain't making no threats, but I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious because y'all not finna be walking around here and saying that we on XYZ and Yahuwah name get blasphemed because you on some other type of time. Cause I promise to you, you get your funky behind from round here straight like that. If you
and
ain't with facilitating, getting stuff done, man, to actually be a benefit to your people and show the love of you who are amongst people, don't bring your funky behind around here.
mm,
You can keep your money too.
yep. And I so happy that you brought that out because you know me getting into this walk early on. I came in as a student, like many of you, and I've listened to many teachers. I've listened to many people that are preaching, and I come from my background comes from real grassroots community work. That's where my background comes from. So once upon a time when I was a part of a camp, you know, born and raised in Philadelphia, the camp church was right on the block, right on the block where there's dope boys up the streets, there's hoes down the street, and little kids running up and down with Pampers on. You know what I'm saying? Up and down the street. This was the block where our church was on, and we would go there every Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, open up the word. You know what I mean? And everybody was sharp with the word. But one of the things that I started recognizing was when it came down to us actually applying that word and going out into our community, right outside. I'm talking right outside them doors. It was a travesty right outside them doors. I didn't see that my brothers wanted to do anything about it. And I'm not going to say for all my brothers. I'm talking about more so the brothers that were in leadership at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because what they were waiting on was to get the okay from the elders and the people that are the founders of the church. They was trying to wait to get the okay from that. But meanwhile, we tithing every Saturday. We tithing like crazy. And there's no improvement with no community garden. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing going on. What are we doing? How can you say that you are a child of the Almighty God and that you following the instructions of the Almighty God, but you refuse to lift a finger to help your people? And I'm talking about even the people that was coming to the church. It was people that wasn't even able to get help there. I saw the brother that is the founder of that church. He went and bought himself a big old mansion and said, when everything go crashing, don't y'all come showing up to my house. You understand? So this right here is different for me because I'm not interested in opening up another church. We got brothers out here like Brother Dwayne that has a church and are putting people hands to the plow that know how to speak this word. But you know what? I'm going to go do what I know how to do, which is organize, right? And pull these things together so that we can have some resources, so that we could finally stop building just churches and start building communities too. Because in anything that you've seen throughout history, the first thing that they would build when they would come to a territory, they would build a church, build a tabernacle. And then outside of that, the community will be restored, will be healed, because those people, who they represent, the Almighty Yah wouldn't allow them to be sitting in a community with filth in it. He wouldn't allow that. He wouldn't allow that. He would do just as he did with Lot, and either come pull you out of there and destroy that place, or he would tell you to go into that land and remove everybody, and clean up. And so this right here for us is really about making sure that we can not only just build churches but also build communities. And so I'm just happy that we got brothers all around that they know this word and they got the brethren. You know what I'm saying? They keeping people in order. And but now they can actually say, you know what, brother, you nice with that word, but can you also plant a garden? Can you also raise food for your family? Not to say that you have to do that. You don't have to just be somebody that's out there being a farmer or something like that. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, brother, can you build a house? What can you do? What can you do to contribute to your people? That's really what it is. Because as a nation of men, as the men here, we have to be the ones that take care of our nation. Once this nation comes collapsing, it's going to have to be us that's going to have to lead our nation under the power of the Almighty Yah.
Yeah, I mentioned that because I want brother to be at. Because one thing about it, right? Because I know we see all our people as a whole, they messed up, and we want to do for them. That's fine. But what I desire to see is what this word say to see that we could actually love each other. Because it seems that a lot of brothers in this word don't actually love each other. You know what I'm saying? Because if we can't look out for each other, who in the house, it don't make no difference if we looking out for people outside the house, because we supposed to be looking out for each other. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
there
we
has to
supposed
be a mindset shift to where, like I said before, that I don't care if this man fellowship with you or not. How can you look at him and don't see Hamashiach? How do you look at him and don't see yourself? But you say Hamashiach in you, but you don't see him in him when you look at him.
to.
You don't see you when you look at him. That means you's as Cat Williams put it, you a fat face on lie, you unfaithful lying bastard. You know what I'm talking about? Because that junk make me sick. Because I know brothers who fellowship with people, and people don't really fool with each other for real. I can tell you from personal experience, I had men sitting around me, boy, and I ain't never disrespect or not show them no love, and them whole niggas ain't had no love for me, and I knew they didn't have no
Mm,
love for me, and I still didn't treat them different. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Because you gonna go to hell on that. I'm not going to hell behind you.
mm.
But it's the
Hey,
aspect
hey,
of why we don't love each other, man. Go ahead, go get it.
and
Go ahead,
I
quick.
wanted to answer the question from my dear sister Misha here. She said, don't you also have to put work into the people to see if everyone will be on the same page before building communities? And this is a really good question. It's a question that we hear all the time. And I want to
Right.
just I want to just preference this answer with asking some questions. Um, the place in which you work, are there people there that's not on the same page as you? The place in which you work. And in this place in which you work, the people there that's not on the same page as you, is that work environment a professional work environment where y'all are able to get the job done, clock out, and go home, right? So that's the number one question I want to preference with before I answer the question. The second question I want to answer, thing I want to ask to preference the answer is the community that you live in right now. You may be renting, you may have bought a house. That community, that person that live across the street from you, is that person on the same page as you? How about your next door neighbor? Is that person on the same page as you? Is anybody within in that community that you currently live in right now on the same page as you? Now, when I ask that question, I want to ask you this as well. Do you live in a safe community? Like if something goes wrong, you know what I'm saying? Is people taking care of the community pretty much is what I'm asking, right? And now I'm going to ask this one too. You go to the supermarket that you go to, are those people on the same page as you? How about the people that grew your food, that raise your food? Are those people on the same page as you? How about if you need to go to the hospital, you know what I'm saying, because you feel you sick or something, you need medication or whatever? Are any of those people on the same page as you? The answer I already know is rhetorical, but the answer is more than likely no. That highly, I would say 99% of the chance to that questions that I ask is all no. But you're able to live relatively pretty good. You ain't worrying about nobody. You go in your house, you lock your door, and what you and your household do, you serve the Almighty Yah, right? You're not worrying about what this man across the street is doing. Unless they on some weirdo stuff, they out there, they a pedophile or something strange like that. You're not really concerned about your next door neighbor. They go in their house, close their door. It's none of my business, right? So when we talk about building communities, we're talking about building communities where it's more like-minded people amongst us, okay? But that space of land is our land. So if somebody want to come and patronize your business, if you got a business right now, if you got a business and somebody that's not on the same page as you want to patronize your business, you going to turn their business down? It depending on what it is. Let's just say you just selling cupcakes. I don't know. Somebody say, hey, I want to buy some cupcakes, just some plain cupcakes. You're not going to turn it down. So if somebody want to come to the land and patronize the land, the things that we growing, or they want to buy a house, as long as they going to live according to the rules that we have there, hey, you welcome to go ahead and live wherever you're going to live on the land. Okay, so we talking about building communities. We don't have our own land. That's number one. We have bought some land in another man's land. You know what I'm saying? So this nation here, they got their own set of rules, regulations, laws, right? That are, some of them may be according to the Almighty God's laws, the Ten Commandments that they may claim to adhere to. But for the most part, the laws and stuff that they got going on in Lumberton, North Carolina, we gotta adhere to that, and ain't nothing we could do to get around any of that. So there's
Right, right.
tenant laws that exist. You know what I'm saying? There's discrimination laws that exist. So we and let until the Almighty Yah bring us into our own land. When I say our own land, I'm talking about ain't no other man or nation above us. Then we're going to be able to reinstitute our laws, and whoever come into our land, they're going to have to be on the same page as us. Because if you break one of our laws, there's going to be a consequence behind breaking one of our laws. But only the Almighty Yah can do that for us. Only the Almighty Yah can do that for us. We don't have that in our power. Even the land that we have in Africa, there's certain things that we can and cannot do. You understand? But until the Almighty Yah bring us into our own land where we can finally start to enforce our laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments, then it's going to be it's kind of hard to just build a community in your place of your captivity and expect that everybody that come there is going to be on the same page as you, because that's not what's taking place right now. Every place that we live right now.
Right. Well, you had kind of she didn't come in here from the start, but see, Misha, with this one here, like you said, it would be like-minded people who see. This was one thing we had to remember: people who don't serve you, who ain't gonna want to live around a whole bunch of people who do anyway. Do you know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? They're not gonna want to do that anyway. So the only divergence you may have is what certain people believe scripturally. You know what I'm saying? But as forth as prayerfully, you would think foundationally a faith in Yahuwah and a desire to be sanctified by his word would be present with the individuals who dwell in there. So when it comes to that, I would wager that the high percentage of people dwelling there are going to be like-minded
That's
when it
right.
comes to that. You know what I'm saying? Say, I don't know if you caught. Now I did say like if I'm physically there, like, cause let's say to be known, we ain't nobody finna be out here stoning nobody, this, that, then the third. But people have to know that you can't live here and just be out here outright sinning and think that
Yeah,
that's just gonna be, you know what, that's cool. Because some places, some brothers is cool with people sinning and covering that up. You know what I'm saying? Not paying attention to what that's going on. But if you talking about actually building something where people can live and grow food and this, that, then the third, I mean, that can be done if the doctrinal differences are not like so egregious that people are just outright disrespectfully rude to
yeah,
others. But
yeah. And I
prayerfully,
and I
everybody
wanted
else.
to
Go ahead.
fill in what you were just saying. Like there's certain places in New York, like there's all Jewish people there. You can't just go live. You first of all, you more than likely not going to go live in that community because you don't want to be around them. Just like what Brother Dwayne is saying, right? But there's certain things in their community that you just not going to be able to be around them and not follow the rules of what they have. You understand? So if you send your kid to a school, more than likely they going to a school where it's ran and operated by Jewish folks. Do you want your kid in that school? Well, if you do, you're going to have to follow along with the regulations. You
That's a
live in
fact.
their community, they got their own HOA. They got their own housing association, community association. So if you're not following along with the regulations of that community, well, they're going to send you some citations within the realm of the law of the land in which they live in. You go to their supermarkets, you're not going to see certain things sitting on the shelf, right? And that's just how it's going to be in our community as well. Is certain things is just not going to be on the shelf. If you want some pork or some shellfish, well, you're going to have to go back to Babylon for that. We're not on here. We're not on that. So we just going to have to bogart. I just want you to imagine it's over 115 acres of land. I just want you to imagine if we got 1,000 Israelite families there. We the majority. You understand? So there's certain things that we're going to be able to enforce within the realm of the law of the land. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like Brother Dwayne said, ain't no way in the world you're going to be on another man's land trying to enforce judgment you ain't going to be able to do that, or you going to jail. That's just how it goes. So, but
Then,
outside of that,
and then on top of that, just taking it scripturally, you can't turn around and stone nobody for no sin, because then somebody gonna have to turn around and stone you.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Somebody gonna have to turn around and stone you, because everybody who's there is guilty before Elohim. So it's just holding people accountable if they out of pocket. But and see, when people hear hold accountable, I know people think of people railing on somebody, or you know what I'm saying, because a lot of people are like that because they really sour on the inside. It's letting people. I'm a different type of individual. So if you out of pocket, I want to understand your mindset of what made you think that that was a good decision. Because then, if I can understand that mindset, then I can give you the information to prayerfully you would not make that bad decision, because you can see the faultiness in your thought process. See, that's only going to get bad is when you are just a habitual line stepper, and now you just specifically and intentionally being rebellious and defiant. You can't live here, brother. You going to have to go. You know what I'm saying? Because we have to do that, because if we don't, as the law say, that will signal to so that all Yasharal can see and fear. Because see, like you said, it's about community, but the community is centered around Yahuwah, which means that there has to be an actual gathering and a hierarchical structure of how the text lays out that assemblies are supposed to run. That does not mean that men are ruling over other men's houses or dictating to other men how they operate in their house. We dictate how we serve Yahuwah according to his word in this area. And if you don't want to do that, then you don't have to live here. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody forced you to be here. So if you don't want to serve Yahuwah and Ruach and the truth that he laid out, that's fine. That's your business. No hard feelings, brother. But you can exit stage left, because you're not finna be here. And these children and these young folks and other grown adults think, well, they letting such and such do it, so I can do it too. Because the last thing that we want is a community that has iniquity running rampant, and then those men who saying they XYZ are seeing it and allowing it. Because I'm going to tell you something. This is what a lot of brothers don't understand. If you are a man who are in a position to watch over people's souls, you are accountable for what you say to them people and what you allow them people to do. All you got to do is look at Eli. Eli knew exactly what his sons was doing, and he didn't say nothing. And he died because of that. I'm not going to hell so you can feel bad about what you're doing. I'm going to say something to you. You know what I'm talking about? I would hope if I was out of pocket, you would say something to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what we get. And let me say this here too, man. Nobody ain't got to have no relationship with you to pull you to the side and say, hey man, you out of pocket, bro. Tighten up. If you feel like somebody got to know you personally, and that means your heart not right with God, because the book say rebuke your neighbor and don't suffer no sin upon him. So if I love you enough to say, hey man, check this out, man, you need to tighten up on your backstroke. You know that ain't how we supposed to move. And you be like, you don't know me like that. I know you going to hell, and I'm gonna walk away from you. I'm gonna do just like the prophet did with Asa. I see you who is determined to kill you, and I'm gonna walk away from you. Because if you knew that you love Yahuwah like you say you do, and I ain't came at you disrespectfully, and I'm just letting you know, hey man, you know that ain't how we move, man. Tighten up, baby. You better than that. And you catch an attitude with me, I hope you go to hell for being stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Because clearly you don't love yourself, you don't love God, and you damn sure don't love me. So I'm gonna let you be what you be. See, we have to get off of that and get your pride out the way, man. If you're out of pocket, you out of pocket, baby. Do you
Mhm.
want to get right, or do you want to be right? That's the question. See, a lot of us want to be right. You don't want to get right. We got to get right. You know what I'm saying? And you're not going to be dwelling on that land doing whatever you want to do, or because you felt like you grew some apples or you donated some money that give you a pass to be a old evil bastard. You could take them apples and shove it up your butthole and get the hell on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Straight,
Well,
because it has
you
to it
know,
has to be a standard. It has to be a shalom, Mother Sharon. It's got to be a standard. There has to come a point that where we know that we got a standard. And as men, we're going to hold to that standard. We're going to hold ourselves responsible to that standard. We're going to hold our brothers to that standard. And in doing so, we can facilitate the aims and the vision that is being discussed. by having a land that you could dwell in to be away from this society on a regular basis, if that's what you desire. To have the ability to grow your own food if you don't want to spend with them people, if that's what you desire. To be able to know that when you go out the door, that it's somebody who got the love of you, who are just like you got the love of you, who are, and your children don't have to play with Centurion. Your children don't got to go to school with sinner children. Your children don't have to be taught by sinner people. And that you can actually be a cod with people who look like you, who live like you, and believe like you, and that you can be there peacefully serving Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? That's the objective. And that everybody can see who come by here, whatever they coming to buy. As this man said, they'll know you're my disciples if you love one another. That they can say, surely the love of God and the spirit of God is in these people. Look at how they
Right.
treat each other.
And
You know?
that's the key point right there, is how do we look when we with each other? That's really, at the end of the day, you know, what the key thing that you're going to find out about your family is when something goes wrong. When something goes wrong, uh, how did your family pull together? Did your family pull together in love? Um, when you get to that family reunion, how was your family behaving then? You know what I'm saying? So this right here is just giving us an opportunity to have that reunion. This right here is giving us the opportunity for us to come together and just see how we're going to be able to treat each other. I'm gonna tell y'all, brothers and sisters, something. And this is just being uh, transparent. That land in North Carolina, it has a purchaser, and that man will tell you, "I don't own the land. This land belongs to the people." Okay. But the reality is he's the purchaser of that land. So at the end of the day, when we are the land trust that we have with him, when we are introducing things, we're going to have to go to the brother and say, hey, these are the things that we want to do. And he could say yay and he could say nay. But I'm going to tell you this one thing, that what I see that we could do, we can go to utilize that 115 acres of land, raise up money, and then go buy our own land, and we could do whatever we want to do with that. And operate any way that we want to operate with that within the realms of the laws of the land. Okay? And so the question that we all have to ask is, we got all of these churches. I mean, at this point, it's thousands of Israelite churches, whether it's online or brick and mortar. The question is, where's the community at? Where's the supermarkets at? Where are our hospitals at? Where are our churches at? Where are all these things at that shows that we are truly a nation? That's the critical question that we need to start asking ourselves, and turning to the people that are in leadership and asking them, if we are a nation, where is the infrastructure of our nation at? Because it's within our grasp to be able to go ahead and do exactly what you all see us talking about doing right here with the land in North Carolina. And there's all praise be to the Almighty Yah that we have brothers like a brother Dwayne, that's going to support brothers just out of love, and I just appreciate again you, brother, and everybody that's tuned in here today. And we definitely going to have to build more, especially on this particular topic and conversation. Be about holding one another accountable, right? And because again, I'm gonna repeat it. If the brothers don't come together to make it happen, who will? It's on us to do the things that we need to do with our nation of people. We got off of the ships. We were pulled off of them ships, slave ships, as a nation. We need to leave here as a nation. So that means that we need to start doing whatever it is that we got to do right now. We may not see eye to eye on a number of things, but you know what? We are brothers and sisters. We are a people, and we are under the order of the Almighty Yah to show love to one another. That's what we do know. And so, we definitely appreciate everybody hopping on with us. And shalom to everybody in the chat. Y'all got the chat lit right now. And we appreciate all of y'all tapping in with this great conversation. But go ahead, you got the
Let me,
final word,
yeah,
brother.
let me say this here, right? Because he pretty much are the question that I had to ask. He done pretty much already hit on those. But let me tell y'all, brother, and I'm talking about straight up and down. The things that he discussing that we want to be able to get done can be done, but you know the number one thing that'll stop it from getting done, that's sin. See, once we clean up, once the faith get right and you clean up the sin, then there's nothing that Yahuwah gonna restrain from us. See, we can have a lot of desire to get a lot of stuff done, but if you're familiar with, say, like Numbers 25 with Phineas or with Achan, when in the accursed thing, if we steadily meddling with cursed things, man, if you steadily playing around with your flesh, if you steady playing with sin, if you steady walking around with doubt and unbelief, there's no way that we're going to accomplish any of these things that we talking about. Because there would be no reason for Yahuwah to even allow that to prosper, because it would be prospering in unrighteousness. You know what I'm saying? So if we can understand that, you got to make sure that you clean that inward man up and get that. And I'm talking to the men, to the gentlemen specifically. No disrespect, ladies. I'm not talking to y'all. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody finna ask you to do no heavy lifting. And don't nobody expect you to do no heavy lifting. All you supposed to do is be a helpmeet to your husband if you got one. And if you ain't got no husband, to be a helpmeet to those who are directing and leading, facilitating wherever it is that they ask you to facilitate in. So I'm talking to you men. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get your soul right, the things that we talking about ain't never gonna come to pass, because Yahuwah shouldn't bring it to pass. He shouldn't bless it. He shouldn't allow it, because you ain't even returned to your first love and even executed properly. There's a lot of things that we could do, but if they done in righteousness, they can be expedited if Yahuwah see so fit according to the multitude of his mercies. You understand? But as long as we around here fooling with hatred, fooling with lust, you're out here fornicating, you're telling lies, you got idols in your heart, you're full of maliciousness, man. You know what I'm talking about? You got what's the one I'm looking for? You got respect of persons and judgment. You got the evil eye. You got blasphemy. You fooling with all them things, man. All you gonna do is slow down and hinder what's going on. So, and able to execute these things, man, you got to be able to do this. And let me say this here too, right? Because I'm speaking for me, what type of man I am, right? Like I say, man, I ran across, bro. I say, boy, I'm rocking what you're doing. I fool with you. So when I say I fool with you, that means I fool with everybody you fool with. Because if you fool with them, then I'm going to perceive that, well, they got to be good and decent people because he's solid. Does that mean that everybody that somebody fool with is solid? Absolutely not. That just means once you show me you a goofy, I'm going to deal with you accordingly. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all this for a reason. If you meet somebody and you rocking what they got going on, and they got people who rolling with them, then you should be down with them, because they down with this person that you say you fool with. So that means the love I got for him, I got that for you too, because you his people. I ain't got to know you. That means I can reach out and holler at you, man, and I'm reaching out and holler at you like I've known you for 10, 15 years, because you his people. Just like if you reach out, look here, right? We got brothers on this stream, man. You got Brother Marvin who on here. That man reached out to me, man. I ain't know that man like that. That's my nigga though. Like in real life, not because he a member. You got my
Right.
man Johnny Ghost who was on here, man. When we went to Detroit, that was our first time meeting this man, man. We walked up in this man's house as if we've been friends for 10, 15 years, like we known each other our whole life. Cause that's my nigga in real life. Not on the internet, man.
Mm-hmm.
Not just because we say we in the word, because that's my brother. I know if some of y'all get offended by it. When I say my name, I mean that's a bond right there. That's my
Mm-hmm.
people. That's my brother. I love him. I ain't saying I love him because it sound good. I'm saying I love him because I love him. You know what I'm saying? And that was my first time meeting this man in the flesh. We already linked in. Oh yeah, that's family right there, bro. It's got to be like that. It's got to be that you get to the point, man, that when you link up with a brother and they see you with him, I ain't got no friends. I got family. So if you see me with him, then that's my brother then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? And what I'm talking about is these brothers who I'm mentioning, with the exception of Johnny Go, because we went to his house. Brother Morgan said these brothers been in my house. And a lot of our brothers, we've been to their house. I'm talking about, do you understand the sanctity of a man's house? His wife and kids there. You know how
Mm-hmm.
much a man got to have love for you to let you walk where his wife and kids stay at?
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to get to the mind of saying, hey, man, if you roll with him, I roll with you too. Like I say, man, I roll with bro. That means everybody he affiliated with, but I fool with him. Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? You got that. That's the only way we gonna be able to get to the point that we want to be at. If we say that we really on the word for real. Because we say a lot of things, but are we showing that? Because if we
That's
show
right.
that, then we could do these things that we talking about, man, and then we won't have to be out here crying, moaning, and complaining. But all esteem and praise to Abba Shamahim in the name of Yahushua, man. You who are willing,
Hallelujah.
man, we gonna come back through here, man. Lay some more things out here, man. I just wanted y'all to hear what my man's trying to do out here. We want to be able to help him facilitate what he's doing out here. You know what I'm saying? Also, if his brothers in other areas and they want to do the same, that they can tap in with him with his expertise if they want to facilitate that where they at. You know what I'm saying? And if his brothers who saying, hey, we need information for salvation so we can facilitate an assembly and where we at so that, hey, man, I can come through and assist y'all with that and y'all brothers can handle the business so that at the end of the day, in all things, that Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua being esteemed by what we got going on. Because that's what it's about. If Yahuwah not getting the esteem, then it's vain. That's why I said we got to be making sure we get out
That's
the
the
sin,
key.
because he said if we not building by Yahuwah, then we building for nothing. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the key.
So we got to make sure that what we doing is according to the righteousness of Yahuwah and it'll prosper. If not, we just gonna be it's just gonna be an exercise in futility, man. Amen, brother Marcus. Man, you should be safe out here too, bro. I love you, bro.
Man, man, brother, you you be dropping a lot of gems, bro. And you know,
I praise you.
love is gonna be the way for us, for the children of Israel. I don't know about any other nations, but without us loving one another, ain't nothing that we gonna do gonna work. And if we gonna have sin amongst us, ain't definitely ain't gonna work. Most High gonna make sure that the Almighty God gonna make sure that everything that we doing is not gonna work if we gonna maintain having sin amongst on the brethren. And so, you know, this is not about self. You know, being charitable, that's interchangeable with love. So,
That
you know, that's really what is key and critical for all of us, is to be able to start displaying that and showing that. And that's what we came here to do. And I just want to thank you again, brother, for having me on your platform. And for
I
people
appreciate
that's
it. I just
joining on the Congregation of the Mighty, man, please make sure y'all go ahead and check out our brother's ministry on his YouTube channel. Uh, um, it's the Assembly. Hold on a second. I'm
other
gonna
first.
just. What's that?
Yes, it's assembly of the firstborn. Hey, but
Yep.
I appreciate you even mentioning that we could be able to simulcast like this here. You who are willing, we're gonna do this a lot more often. You know what I'm saying? Well, this is just me being able to operate in a different space versus because if you come on that YouTube channel, it's our actual service. You know what I'm saying? But in
Yeah.
this instance, we can be able to talk to one another, kick it with one another, exchange ideas with one another to add value to one another. You know what I'm saying? Which is a different deal because them streams you see on there, that's when we have service. We have service 3 times a week.
Right.
You who would permit, man, we have service about 170 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that I sincerely know and can see is that understanding of the word is greatly deficient. And it's greatly deficient because most congregations only have service once a week. 52 times a year is not enough for you to actually know and understand the word to implement it to be a benefit to your soul. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not preaching 3 times a week because that's just, oh, I'm this, that, there, and the third. That's what the brothers asked for. You know what I'm saying? When we first started, we went once on Friday night. Then I forgot what occurred. We had a service on the Saturday afternoon, and our sister Leanna said, "Can we keep doing this?" And that's how that happened. And then in February 2015, they asked, "Can we have service on Wednesday?" Because waiting for the Sabbath is a long time. Because sometimes we don't realize is that just like it said in Isaiah 50, sometimes we get weary and you need a word in due season. You know what I'm saying? And like it says in Isaiah 26, and anybody who come on our channel know this here, because I don't need an excuse to mention Isaiah 26:3. You keep him in perfect peace who mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in Yahuwah. For trusting Yahuwah is everlasting strength. So when your mind is stayed on him, it is very easy for you to be locked in on him and fulfilling his will. You can't get caught up in folly. Because we be in conversations with brothers, man, and brothers always be talking about we always gonna sin, and nobody answered this question because this was a sin question. I was like, man, what do you niggas be out here doing that you can't stop sinning? What are y'all out here doing? Because I know for me, I go to work and come home. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't have a desire to sin. I've been in this game for 15 years. I don't have a desire for it. That desire dissipated a long time ago. But what I'm talking about is, what are you out here actively doing on a day-to-day basis that your mind is not on Yahuwah, that you can feel comfortable to doing something that this man could kill you dead for in the midst of it? Because I don't think we consider that. Ecclesiastes 8 and 11 says, because a sentence against an evil work isn't executed speedily, is privily in the hearts of the sons of Adam to do evil. Why are you out here participating in things that you know this man could kill you dead while you doing it? And the only way you participating in those things because your mind ain't on Yahuwah. And why is your mind not on Yahuwah? Because you ain't dedicating yourself to Yahuwah. That's where our problem come in at. You know what I'm saying? I ain't one of them people be like, I talk about Bible 24/7, because I don't. And if you come around me acting like that's what you want, I'm gonna tell you, man, go ahead on, bro. You know what I'm saying?
and
We
and,
could talk
and
about
for
word, but go ahead, bro.
no, I just want people to know, for the people, man. The people that don't know, brother Dwayne. Our brother been doing this ministry for a long time. My brother got a lot of wisdom and knowledge that has been bestowed on him through the Almighty Yah. He loves what he's doing. He loves teaching, and I would highly recommend, for the brothers that are following my platform, go and follow the brother. So that you need a lot of our brothers need exactly what he said. You need to be scripturally sound, and so our brother here can definitely help give you guidance and what you need for that. And I just want to go ahead and share as well. Um, this here platform, I know everybody sees uh, the banner and things like that, the Congregation of the Mighty. We were able to utilize my StreamYard and simulcast together. So that's the reason why you all see it. But this here is the platform here on YouTube on the Congregation of the Mighty. I don't stream as much as our brother, but I do bring on a lot of cool people that really you could really get some real game from. That's going to
Yes, sir.
drop some real gems. So I be dropping some gems as well. Um, you know, I'm definitely all praise to the Almighty Yah for allowing me to do the things I'm doing, allowing me to come across the brothers that I've come across, and we've been doing some
Amen.
beautiful things. So if you want to tap in with any of that, I mean, we got some footage from the land and all kinds of stuff on here. You might want to check it out. So
Yes, sir.
we've been on here, and speaking to the people. We appreciate everybody rocking out with us thus far. We definitely going to go ahead and go live again in the near future, especially because you got the event coming up soon, as do we, brother Dwayne. So I can't wait to get down there to Florida
Oh
to
yeah, man.
to meet up with you and the family. And
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's
sir.
going to be great. It's going to be great to meet you in the flesh, brother, and all of the other brothers is there as well. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I just wanted to say shalom to everybody. And did you have any other final words that you wanted to share with the people?
Yeah, I just want to let you brothers know this here too, right? The information that's on that we doing is not for doctrinal debates. It's not for look at what I know. It's for us to actually take and add to our faith to tangibly produce what Yahuwah say his word is supposed to produce. That's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? You might catch me cracking jokes of this, that, there, and the third, but please believe me. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't no work, ain't no whack work over here, boy. This 100% pure, unadulterated, straight, hardcore dope you getting on this block. We don't serve no water whip over here, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's for the purpose of the betterment of the people as a whole. I can't speak for other brothers who preach the word and what they own, but I'm saying this information, this ain't information to sake of be on look at what I know. It's so that you could be a better man, a better woman, a better wife, a better husband, a better brother, a better sister, a better son, a better daughter, and most importantly, a better servant to the living Elohim who has extended us grace and mercy through the offering of the flesh of his son by the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh under everlasting life. Because that's what we gather up together for. You know what I'm saying? We not there just to hear me talk. We there for the word. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, guess what? The word is why I know this man who's on this stream with me to know that what he doing. All us on here right now, we here because of the word, meaning we here because of Yahuwah. So just pause in your mind and think about that. That all of us are able to link up and intersect with one another through one common cause, and that's Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? Don't never
That's right.
forget that.
That's
Because
right.
you could be in your room with the lotion trying to rub one out. You could be out here at the club getting drunk, chasing
True.
scallywags. You could be in the streets a junkie or committing crimes. You know what I'm saying? Or
It's
just
true.
living a miserable existence with no hope. But instead, by his grace and mercy, he allowing us to intersect that we could actually be a benefit to one another so that his name can be esteemed. Don't never forget that, man. Don't
Mm-hmm.
never forget that.
Mm. Wonderful closing words, my brother. And I wanted to say, all praise be to the Almighty Yah. Shalom to the family that's
Amen.
tapped in with
Oh,
us. And I
yes,
just want
sir.
to share this here final word for the congregation of the mighty. Psalms 82, a psalm of Asaph. The Almighty Yah standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Salah. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O Almighty Yah, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations.